And there we go. We're live. Look
Are
at
we
that
now?
now. Yeah, it works. It works. Technique. La 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 di da. So, with that said, all you guys out there, very much welcome to that beautiful live podcast. My name is Roger Bergström, all the way from Stockholm, Sweden. Still got quite some snow out there, but it's plus degrees, unfortunately. That was very unnecessary information. But as always, well, not that unnecessary. As always, we're not only one, we're two. My beautiful friend, all the way from Reading, the UK, Hughes Campbell. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. I am good.
You're blue.
I'm wearing a snuggie. This is
I see that.
it's
Yeah.
a Snorlax snuggie. I can step back.
Oh, looks cozy. That's nice. Oh, and warm,
It is
probably.
warm. It is warm, especially in these colder days. Also,
Yeah.
because of the fact of how it's shaped, I
Mm.
can essentially wear it and wear shorts underneath and still be warm. So
Ah, yeah, yeah. Ah, like that. Yeah, that's good. Oh, it goes that far, like a coat.
yep, yep. So
Hey, hi, Alex. How are you? Hope you're fine. Very
hey,
much welcome.
welcome Susie Chat. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
oh chatty person, welcome.
Yeah, you
So
chatty person, you. Mm.
so yeah, so this is I got this snuggie at a shop in the UK called Primark, and they sell a lot of stuff kind of like this and at a reasonable price. I don't like paying a lot of money for things, but I do like cute things, and I do like things that like this, it's got a Pokemon on it, and it's got a bit of hood if I
Yeah, that both looks good and feels good. In this case, definitely both. So nice, nice
yes.
buy. Nice
Yes.
buy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
It's a pretty
yeah.
cool acquisition to my comfort wear.
Ah, yeah. Now those kind of, that will be most likely used for years,
Yes,
one of
yes,
those things. So good stuff.
definitely, definitely.
Bro,
So,
we are at episode 278, I believe. It's been quite a few. We've done a lot of episodes before, but that's another story that doesn't belong here now. But with that said, we're doing this every week, like weekly, and we talk about, what we have done in life in general. And of course, sometimes also things we have reacted to overall, and of course, also the beautiful stuff we have been watching on the telly or movies and video games. The video games.
the video games, and I just
The
want to
video
say,
games.
welcome to the chat, Trini Captain Tati. Trini Captain Tati, I'm actually going to mention in this episode because I know this person. But welcome to
I
the.
thought you did. I thought you did.
Yep, yep, yep. Definitely, we've been acquainted.
Nice. Beautiful. Welcome.
So
Ah, yeah.
new week,
Yeah, new
Raj.
week exactly. And the interesting part is, and I think we should start on your end when it comes to your week, because it does involve me in a little bit.
A little
It's a
bit,
way,
a little
because we had a little
bit.
talk yesterday. But walk us through what has happened since last time. Has it
Oh
been
man,
good, or
it's been interesting. I've made some new connections. I've met new people. I have obviously it's been work, and more work. It's been quite a full. I've had a full plate, and then stuff with the family and the kids and the missus and all that kind of stuff. It's almost been never ending. Like I don't think I've had a day to breathe up until maybe yesterday. I had a little, and even yesterday I still didn't have much of a breathe because stuff happened during yesterday that sort of meant that I still had more things to do. And so yeah, it's been hectic, and one of the things that happened is a good friend of ours came to visit. He came to visit to the UK. This is Tim, and so Tim and his son Hunter, they both came to visit, and I met up with them in town, and I showed him a bit of a bit of Reading, showed him a few of the shops I tend to frequent, a few places. For me, I sort of wanted to because of the fact that in my mind I was like, they've only got a few days here, and I've only got a few days that like a day I can spend with them because I've got work.
Yeah.
And then it turns out they're here on Saturday, but I was trying to cram so much into the day. So I was like, okay, we got to go here. All right, now we got to go here. Right, now we got to go. So we didn't really get time to sort of stay in a location and do anything really. There
Yeah,
were a
yeah, yeah.
few, like we sat, I think, at one place and we ate a bit and we chatted for a bit there, had a drink and so forth. but for the most part, we were constantly moving. But Tim was loving it. He was just like, at least that's what he said to me. He said he liked the fact that he can walk from point A to point B because in the
Yeah.
US they don't have that. They have to get in a car
True.
if they
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
go to somewhere. If they want to go to another type of shop, they have to go in another car and drive somewhere else and so forth. So
Right.
he was loving the fact that he can go into a town center and go from point A to point B and just walk around. And as I said to him, like, it's common in Europe, and he's been to other parts of Europe. He's been to Portugal and so forth.
Yeah.
So he was like, he likes that ability to do that, and to me that was cool. So spent some time with him and Hunter yesterday. It was really nice just meeting them. I got to the train station. I waited for them. I saw them come off. They spotted me not too long after getting off the train, and then we hugged, and then I took them around and sort of just I was their tour guide for the day. I hope I was a good tour guide.
Of course you
Um,
were. I'm pretty sure.
yep. And then at some point we ended up back at my house and we called you because you messaged me about podcasts earlier, and then you remembered, wait a minute, Tim is visiting today. And so I was
Yeah.
like, guys, you guys wanna I actually messaged you and said, do you wanna talk to Tim? And you said, yeah, sure,
Yeah.
go for it. And so they had no idea I was gonna call you actually. So everyone was in here. I think
Aha. Okay. Oh.
Alex
Okay.
was sitting here, and then
Yeah. That I remember too.
Tim and Hunter were sitting there, and I just came over to the computer, turned it on, and hit call, and they were just like they were talking, and then they looked up, and then you were there on the screen. So it
Yeah,
was
it was
quite a
really
thing.
nice. Yeah, it was really nice. It was a good idea. I really appreciated it.
Yeah.
I said it to my wife afterwards, Annalie, because I described the situation also earlier when you got you told me that team was coming and everything, and
Hmm.
also the reason behind it and everything.
Yeah.
So now it was really nice to talk to him and see him again, so to say, through the lens, through the camera, but also his son. He seemed to be a really nice guy as well, which I'm not surprised. I mean, Tim is a really nice person and soft, cool, and very balanced in so many ways. So I'm not surprised that his son has become a bit, maybe a lot like him as well. So
Yeah.
that was a good moment. That was a good moment.
Tim did a lot of he passed a lot of the credit for how amazing his kids are to his wife, but I think that is I think it's equal between them in the sense that
Yeah.
I've known Tim for years. I mean, we've known Tim for years, and when you think about the person that he is, and you think about the kind of individual he is, and you see his kids, and you're just like, it makes sense. Like they are that way. Their dad is that way. He's just from his wife, and rest in peace. She passed away in October last year, and she did this thing where she used to share stuff about what's going on in their lives on Facebook. And Tim had left Facebook for quite some time because he was tired of Mark Zuckerberg and the way the I guess the security of your data and all that kind of stuff. He was just kind of like, look, I don't want to be on all these platforms. So he sort of detached, and the only one I think he was on was Instagram. And it was sort of a thing where it was like it was difficult to try to keep up with him because I didn't at the time. I don't even think he was on Instagram as yet. I think he just wasn't on anything at the time for a while. And so
Mm.
the only way I was able to sort of keep up with what he was going on in his life without just giving him a phone call was to go onto his wife's Instagram, which luckily his wife and I did have each other on Facebook. So I would go onto her Facebook and I would see what's going on with them, and she would do these posts, these sort of like updates, and she called it Bledsoe Life. And she would post pictures and videos and stuff about what's going on with them, and a lot of it you would see things that, like, I remember one time she had this is multiple times this happened, but she had posts where you'd see their kitchen counter full of like cans and food and all this sort of stuff because
Okay.
their son was doing a charity drive, and this wasn't something that they told him to do, like, oh, you should do this. This was something that they raised him a certain way, and he felt the like he wanted to do this, so
Yeah.
he was driving this thing, and then he'd get his friends together to do it. And you saw that side of him even while he was here, because we went to a supermarket, and the first thing he's thinking, oh, I've got to get some stuff for my friends, I've got to get this, I've got to get that. He's thinking about what can he get for other people, and you could see that sort of that kindness, that sort of
Yeah.
that
So caring, you know.
care for other people from him.
Yeah.
And like one of the things Tim told me is that like after his wife had passed, he said there were so many people, because I remember for her when I lived in Trinidad, whenever we had an earthquake or something happened in Trinidad, I would get a text message. I would get a message from her, and she'd ask, "Are you okay? Is everything all right?" and so forth.
Aha. Okay.
And Tim said to me, because I said that to him, we were having a conversation and walking yesterday, and he said to me, he was like, you have no idea how many people she's done that for, and he's only found that out more so now when she passed, because of a lot of people reached out, and she had a lot of impact in a lot of people's lives, because her job was, she was an administrator for, I think, is it 911 in the US, so in her state,
Yeah,
so
I think you said something about that earlier, so I recognize that. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So she did quite a lot in that role, helping
Hmm.
people and so forth, and not just in the role but outside of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so yeah, just a wonderful all around person. I mean, uh, so yeah, just when you see him and his family and you interact with them, it's just sort of a thing where it's just like, and you see what his kids are doing and how they are, it makes sense, like his most
Yeah.
people, from the US don't travel. They're so insulated.
Mm.
They want to be there. They see their country as the best place on the earth, and nothing's better than there. His kids want to travel. His daughter traveled a lot. His son, he's talking about, he wants to travel. He wants to see Europe. He wants to spend time here. He wants to spend time in other countries and so forth.
Mm.
And you meet so many, like usually when you meet people from the US, it's not that. It's usually like, I don't even have a passport. I don't even
Right.
travel.
Right.
Why would I even travel? There's everything I need here. This sort of
Exactly. Mm.
closed-minded, insulated, sort of like, well, this is the center of the universe is the United States. But
Yeah.
with his kids and his
Or your
families,
own state, for that
or your
sake.
own state, exactly. And
Mm.
for his family, it's the opposite. It's like they travel, and despite the fact that with Tim, it's like he likes his home, and the sort of community he has around him and so forth. He
Yeah.
doesn't like every aspect of it. There are things he wish were better, I guess, like with the whole walking and being able to get from point A to point A easily. But it was sort of a thing talking to him. He just sort of, it was like he would love to have certain aspects of it be similar to out here, but at the same
Mm.
time, him coming out here for a visit and so forth is a huge thing for him. Even
Mm.
more so than probably for his kids, because of the fact that he's a bit older. He's in his 50s.
Yeah.
He's sort of, and usually as you get older, you get a bit more comfortable. You get a bit more, you've gathered things, you've collected a lot of stuff. You have a house, you have things, you have like a television and a sofa and memorabilia from trips that you've taken and all this sort of stuff. It
Exactly. True.
it kind of keeps you there. It kind of makes you feel like, ooh, do I really want to travel? Do I really want to go here? I've got
Yeah.
everything I need. I've got food.
Mm.
I've got shelter. I've got everything is around here. I know where everything is. Why would I
Yeah.
want to go somewhere else? And
Mm.
yeah, it's just, but then his kids booked him a trip. They were like, look, they're all going through a tough time right now, because October was
Mm.
just then. It was just then, and
Exactly. Exactly. It's not a long time ago.
not a long time. And I think, like yesterday, I tried my best in my own way. I'm not the best at this sort of stuff. I think you were very good yesterday when you hopped on the call. I thought you were amazing in how you spoke and everything like that. I tried, but I don't know how good I am with these sort of stuff. I feel like I'm not the best, but at the same time, I still tried. And
Oh.
Tim he's an amazing guy,
Yeah.
and it really does, like, there were moments when I spoke to him yesterday where I could just see, that I could see the emotions in him. I could see how much he's feeling and hurting right now,
Yeah.
but I just didn't know how to help him, or the most I could do was just talk to him, and us sort of showing him my tongue and things around me and so forth was the best I could do it in the moment. But that
Yeah.
being said, I did find out that he is here till Sunday. So I'm gonna try to make. But I've made the agreement that I'll meet them on Saturday, and we can spend a bit more
Yeah.
time.
Oh, nice.
And
You're going to London.
I
Yeah.
am going to London to go see them on
Yeah.
Saturday, so we
Mm.
can continue. I can continue spending
Sounds
some
nice.
time with them before they have to fly back home. So yeah, it was it's been an emotional
Yeah.
experience because of the relationship that I have with Tim and his family. At the same time, it's been good to see him.
Yeah.
It has been. I wish it was under different circumstances, but at the same time, I'm just still happy to have him around and to give him a hug and spend some time with him was good. Just to have a beer together and chat.
Yeah. But as you
And
said, I mean that's what we or what you can do, right?
yeah.
That's what you can be there, and I mean it's just that just be a human being together with him,
Hmm.
as the best you can be, and just enjoy the presence of each other, and if needed, support. Otherwise, have fun if possible, due
Hmm.
to circumstances. If you want to talk, he talks. It's just very hopefully. I mean, I am pretty sure, without knowing more, that he really appreciates this. I mean, coming to Reading, meeting you, spending time with you and your family a bit, and also now having the opportunity to see you again on Saturday. I'm very positive that that's the case. So enjoy, have fun again, and yeah, again, send my regards when you meet him on Saturday.
I will. I will indeed. The other thing to add about my week, is I guess as I said, like I made some new acquaintances. One of them was in the chat there. I'm not sure if he's still there. Trini, Captain 30. We met on eFootball. I think he followed me
Ah,
on
I thought so.
Instagram.
I felt maybe this is someone you played with or against versus. So yeah, there you go.
We sort of we connected on Instagram, and he reached out and we chatted a bit and we hopped in some games and we played together, and it was great. It was absolutely amazing sitting down playing and chatting, and he's from Trinidad and
Awesome.
Tobago, so I was able to sort of switch to my full Trini accent, and which I don't switch shit as much these days. And a funny thing happened yesterday. I was in town talking to a friend, and a Trinidadian friend, on the phone, and a guy is walking alongside of me as I'm walking, and he turns to me and he stops and he stares at me, and I'm like, do I know this guy? Like, he's an older gentleman. He's staring at me, and he's like, you Trini or Vincentian? And I was like, oh
Ah,
right, he can hear it in my accent. So I was like, no, Trini. I was like, and you are? And he was like, oh, I'm from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And I was like, oh, brilliant, right? So
look at that.
it was super cool. It was super cool running
That's
into
nice.
a Vincentian. I have Vincentian family. I've got Vincentian. I've got a St. Vincent and the Grenadines flag here. So that's
Oh, okay. Yeah,
that's the
right.
flag of St. Vincent and the
Look at that.
Grenadines,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I've got that here. It's behind my telly now. I can't remember how to put it back, so I'll have to put it up later. But I've moved it. So
Yeah.
yeah, but really and truly, it's been a busy week. It's been a bit of new and old, and yeah, just yeah, just kind of it. A bit of everything. Bit of everything. But again, bittersweet is the best way to put it. It's been a bittersweet
Oh
week.
yeah.
So
I can understand.
yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Raj? How was your week?
Yeah.
I mean, you were on the call yesterday, but other than
Yeah.
that, how were you?
Yeah, well, the call was really nice. As said before, it was a kind of welcome little interruption also when it comes to my doings and my chores and everything. Now it's been a busy week for me too. As you know, I'm in the process of finishing this album I talked about when it comes to horror music. All the 12 tracks were done before Christmas, but now I'm going back to track one and two, especially one and two. And this is something I knew, but I really didn't want to think too much about it. I knew that I would most likely have to redo, especially the first track from the ground and up.
Ooh.
So that has taken almost a whole week, and then I finished, yeah, track two today. I would say. I think I am. I'm gonna take a look at the intro,
Mhm.
and then I started to do some mixing also today. So whew, then I can send those away at least. That's 2 out of 12, and I have January, so it's like got to start moving. But as said, I think the other track's not going to be the same puzzle because they are more in line of what I came up with later. So they are under the same umbrella, if that makes sense, like
Mhm.
style wise and the soundscape I was getting into. So
Mhm.
It's gonna be okay. I think so. I really think so. Yeah. Other than that, it's been like a normal week in so many ways. Unfortunately, we went from minus degrees here to plus degrees. So now, as I said, we have a huge amount of snow. It's a lot of snow, but the problem now when it's plus degrees is starting to melt a bit, and it
Mhm.
becomes very muddy. It's like when you're trying to go away with the car, especially because our road outside here from our garage, when you come out from our garage, you've been here, so and you take a right, that street
Mhm.
hasn't been fixed. So it's like, it's
Really?
so hard to drive. Yeah, because there's two entrepreneurs. One is like the society here where
Mhm.
we live, and they take care of the car park places and everything,
Mhm.
and some smaller paths like where people walk and bicycle and everything. But then like the major roads is the well, state is maybe the wrong. That's not really what you say here in Sweden.
Is it like a
But
county or borough or
yeah,
something?
I would say county. Think
Mhm.
county-ish. So exactly, think that's the best actually. So but they've had to prioritize.
Mhm.
So, because since it came so much snow within just 1.5 week, they had to prioritize the like really big roads and
Mhm.
then like the smaller. So they haven't. Well, I don't know what to say. But I think it's a pity because it's been so beautiful. I mean, I sent you this little video also of me
Yeah,
being outdoors here.
we've got to share that video. I've got it here. You continue. I'm gonna share the
Yeah,
video
it's
of what it
slush.
looks.
It's slush on the ground. It's exactly that, Alex. It's like driving in slush. So the wheels are going like this on the car, and the road is like it's very weird. And not that great either for security reasons. But if you just take it slow, it's all good.
The
But
safety
again, the
reasons.
major roads are fine. It's not a problem. But it's
Mhm.
just those smaller that connects to the bigger roads, and of course also here where I live. So yeah.
You guys look over there, you can actually see the video that
Oh, you're showing it.
Roger.
Ah,
Yeah,
cool.
I'm showing it. So you guys can actually see the video of Roger's sort of in front of his house and all the snow and everything. Again, when you if you've ever been to Sweden, like from Roger's house, when you're in there and you see the snow everywhere, it looks like a Christmas card. Like it is
Mm.
absolutely
Yeah,
gorgeous.
it's quite nice. Yeah, I agree.
it,
I like that.
it is
So.
stunning. I've got a picture from your house that I've posted online. That I was anytime someone sees this, said, "Oh, that looks like a Christmas card."
Yeah.
It looks like the stuff you would when you think Christmas, you think Santa Claus, you think all that kind of stuff. Yep, that's it. That's the look.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful. I mean, as you know, we have this connection with like living on a smaller street, so it's
Mhm.
quite narrow, it's quite small, which is nice. No cars around, so
Yep.
no, that's really neat. So it's been really nice, but now I don't know. Yeah, I wish it those plus degrees now go back to minus. It was better. So, but it is what it is.
You sound like Alex. Alex is saying she
Yeah,
likes it
it's
colder
nice,
as
right,
well.
Alex?
She likes it
Yeah, it's
colder as
beautiful.
well. Definitely likes it colder.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
Uh,
I think it's that northern
by the
Eastern
way,
European side of things.
yeah, probably. By the way, the hat I'm wearing
Mhm.
towards the end when I'm turning the camera, it's a bit up my nostrils, but anyhow, it's very close. But the hat I'm wearing is actually I think it's an old Russian bear hat.
Ooh.
Because when this is history now. When the Berlin Wall fell in 1990, the year after, I made my first tour with Cremata, and we went to Berlin.
Ooh.
And at that point of time, yeah, it was a big thing, like East and West Germany was connected once
Mhm.
more after all those years, and they were selling out a lot of objects from that era, that time.
Mhm.
And I was watching that. This was outdoors by Brandenburger Tor,
Mhm.
it's called. And um, I saw it. It was like, oh, look at that. And I mean, it's amazing because even though it's really cold, you don't freeze.
Yeah.
It's isolating so well. It's amazing. It actually had an old Soviet like mark on the
The
hat. I took that
swastika.
away.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I took that away actually. In a way, I regret it because it's like, yeah, it's a thing and it's history, but
It's
at the
kind of
same time,
historic, yeah.
uh, yeah, looking like a Russian, isn't it? Mm.
Oh,
Well, look at that. It's. I love that hat. It's amazing. But when it gets cold, I just pull it
I.
down like this, and I don't actually. If I'm out walking with that hat, even though it's cold, if I when I get in and take it off, I'm like sweaty on the
Mm-hmm.
top of my head. That's how. Yeah.
It looks warm.
Mm,
It looks quite warm. Actually, something like that, especially as you mentioned the time it came from and all that kind of stuff. I think something like that is some if it was kept in its authentic original form, that's something you'd find in a museum and you'd be able to sort of like
exactly.
go in and see it
Yeah, I
and
could probably have sold it for a lot of money in like 10, 15
well
years. I should have. Stupid
well
me.
hey
Yeah,
hey
we do
hey.
dumb things. It's like, by the way, talking about that, and as you say also, Alec, they last for years. Exactly, because
Mm-hmm.
it's like it's good quality. Apparently, it's a good. Well, it's a bear. Sorry, bear. But anywho, talking about that value, my oldest son, Aiden Adam, just messaged me yesterday. He was like, "Hey, those old Pokemon cards that I have somewhere, we have to find them." Because he just realized that some of them are worth quite a lot now.
Oh well, I'm sure there's somewhere down in the basement because you
Yeah,
keep you
Hammer and the
keep.
Sickle. That's what it was. Sorry, it was like a red and gold colored.
Oh, the
Yeah.
hammer and the sickle. Right, right,
Yes.
right. I mean, Alex would know
Correct.
this. She's
Correct,
from
Alex.
she's from Poland. Poland was
Yeah,
part
she
of the
knows.
Soviet Union.
She
She
knows.
knows these things. She knows. To be honest, I found Alex's old passport picture from like years ago, like years, and she's got a hat and everything like that. She looks like a Russian girl in this profile
Mm.
picture. She's got the whole puffer outfit and the same colors.
Yes.
She
Cool.
so sometimes I call her Russian girl. She said when she used to live in the U.S. because people in the U.S. can't tell the difference between Russians and Polish people, and at the same
Right.
time they lived in the same area with a bunch of Russian people as well. She said she used to be called Russian girl by people. So so that's my Russian girl.
That's beautiful. I think I said it before though. This is mainly to Alex, but I think I mentioned. I think I have a small percentage of Polish blood in me, to be honest.
Ooh.
I think on my dad's side, yeah, I think on my dad's side, far, far back, far, far, far back. Uh, yeah, I think that's the case actually. Look at that now. I remember it now because it's yeah, yeah. Poland was occupied. Hmm.
No. She gets very defensive when you talk about Poland.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know the history. Nah, it. I know exactly what happened around Poland and yeah, we're not getting into that now. But I know I have read and I know exactly. It was horrific, to be honest.
I've been
Uh,
educated by my missus. She tends to
yeah,
teach
you
me a
got
lot
to
of
tell
history.
too. Nah,
She
it was a letdown in many ways too. When yeah, okay, we skip that now. That's sad memories in many ways. But there you go.
Yep, yep. To this day, even Eric, who's so my brother-in-law Eric, who's from Estonia, even when
Exactly.
he speaks about, he is very much anti-Russia. When he talks about
Yeah,
Russia,
I can
he has this
understand
sort
that.
of a disdain. But then again, even though like things have changed in that relationship, there's a lot
Hashtag
still
fun.
hasn't. Fun fact
Sorry
from
that.
Roger.
Yeah,
So
comes a little thing here and there. Yeah.
little
No, but I
tidbits.
can understand what you're telling about Eric because I mean, as you know, I've been traveling also in those countries, the Balkan countries and everything, and it's the same. Like think Estonia,
Hmm.
Latvia, and Lithuania. It's all these three countries. They've been under the dominance of the old Soviet, so it's a thing for sure.
They don't think
It's
favorably of it, but at the same time, I think there's still a connection between those places because I think some of Eric's family do still speak Russian or are
yeah,
Russian,
probably.
and similarly, like with Alex, like she speaks Russian. So because of the
Mm,
fact
yeah,
of
right.
how
Mm,
Poland was when they occupied Poland, Poland was split into two. Germans had one half, and the Russians had another. So some people growing up spoke German because they were closer
mm,
to Germany, and some spoke Russian because they were closer to Russia. So the part of Poland that she grew up from, they learned Russian. And in Trinidad and Tobago, was a
yeah,
similarity because we didn't have it split like that, but because we were close to South America, we learned Spanish as well. So it's sort of
yeah.
like geography of like what country you're close to, you kind of learn that language. I'm assuming people who live in
Mm.
Texas close to Mexico probably learned Spanish in school, maybe because
Probably, yeah.
when I was in Texas, a lot of people spoke Spanish. Like you could just they
Yeah,
were speaking Spanish all the time. You landed in the airport and you would just hear in Spanish speaking constantly. So
I can imagine.
it's
Yeah,
it's a thing. They were just switching between
it's a
English and
thing.
Spanish. And it didn't matter. They didn't all look like they came from Mexico. They it was everyone in the airport. You'd have one guy, he's like, America, and then he's like, ¿Cómo estás? You know, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, of course, of
Hola,
course.
hola amigo. And they just it sounded so like authentic. It was an instant switch, you know, and they
Yeah.
it just went back and forth. It was cool. It was really cool. I like when I love language and I love when other people speak other
Yeah.
languages. I wish I could speak more languages. I'm still learning Polish. I learn a bit of
Mm.
Swedish from you. I
Yeah.
use I use lagom for everything.
Yeah, but that's the good thing with that word because it works for almost everything. So
It does.
it's a balancing word. Sorry, a balancing word, like a
Hmm.
yin and yang kind of thing,
Yep.
which is quite philosophic in a way if you think about it. But either way, I think yeah, language connect people and also history in many ways. But I also like what I read from Alex saying, despite then we talked about the history and everything, you still say you have a lot of Russian friends despite the history, and I think that's important because I think it's important not to forget
Hmm.
history,
Yeah.
remember and to learn because it's important to know. But at the same time, we have to move on. We have to. We are modern people, and we have to move on. And
Hmm.
as I said, we shouldn't forget. But if we stay in the past,
Hmm.
we will end up becoming, just bitter and very, yeah.
I think it's about
We have to come.
learning. I think it's about
Yeah,
you learn from the
yeah,
past, but then you move forward into the future because we can't live in the past because we don't move forward as people. We would just in the emotions we just keep would be bitter. It wouldn't help us to grow. But we can learn from something. It's like if you're
right.
a kid who maybe you ran over. You know, when I was a kid, I remember one time my mom said to me, "Stay inside. I'm going out," and I wanted to go and play cricket. So I got up. I waited till mom left. I checked. Okay, she's gone. Cool. There's some kids down there playing cricket. I'm gonna go play cricket. Right? I get down there. My mom's not home. I'm like, I've probably got like in kid brain, I'm thinking I've got like a short period of time. I'm not working out 15, 20 minutes. I'm just like, I've got about maybe two bats at the ball, running and stuff, and then go back home before she finds out, right? And I get there and I'm there with a bat, and I loved cricket back then. Love it.
Yeah.
Still love it to this day.
Mm.
Right? And I'm there with a bat, and someone gets the ball, is spinning at me, and pow, smack it up in the air. I'm like, and now, granted, back then we were using tennis balls to play cricket, and the way it was, you could hit those balls with a bat so hard that it would fly so far you'd lose it basically. And my goal was to lose other people's ball. I had no other interest in anything else because when you watch cricket, when you'd hit the ball as far as possible and it gets over a certain point, like outside of the boundary or something, you would call it a six, which is like six, and everyone wanted to hit a six. You know, all the best cricket players, Brian Lara, all of them, they all hit
Of
sixes.
course.
So I'm there waiting for some kid who's probably half my age to throw the ball so I could smack it for a six and then go back home. And I did that. I smacked it for a six, and this kid,
Mm.
I think this kid threw a rock at me or something. And
What?
I think he hit me, threw a rock, something, and I chased after him. Right, I'm sprinting after this boy, and no, at this point in time, I am barefoot. I've got no shoes on because I've snuck
Uh,
out. I rushed out and I ran across some broken glass in some grass. Got a nasty cut underneath my feet, and I all I noticed was the pain and the blood, and I rushed back home and I tried to clean it and fix it up, and I tried to hide it so my mom wouldn't know, and I'd be limping around the house, hopping, and obviously mom knew. She figured it out. I got in trouble, but then she took me to the doctor. I got a tetanus shot to make sure I wasn't sick, and but at the same time, I learned from that to the point where two things I learned from that is I don't go outside without having my shoes or slippers on because
yeah.
I can get injured. And two, I don't sneak out when my mom was home anymore because
Yeah.
crap happens. So it was just sort of a thing of
Yeah.
like learning from the past,
Yeah. Yeah.
but moving forward. Like I moved past that. I'm no longer a kid going out trying to play cricket with these random kids. But at the same time, I learned from that experience, and I won't do it
Sure.
again. And that's essentially how I look at it when it comes to the past. Is you learn from it, so that we don't make the same mistakes, but then we
Yeah.
move forward so that we do amazing things, and we That's the goal. Anyway.
Yeah, yeah, no, but that's a good saying, good example of the life experiences that leads to further development as a human being.
Yep. Yep.
That was deep. But I also want to refer to what Alex said. I'm happy to hear talking about culture and everything
Hmm.
that you know that you have introduced fika.
Hmm.
Fika is essential, like it could be tea, it could be coffee, but very traditional here in Sweden, as I said, when you talk about fika, is of course coffee
Hmm.
and maybe a cinnamon bun or something like that. That's fika,
Yep.
most likely in the afternoon. It could be before, it could also be like 10:30 before lunch or something, or maybe in the afternoon, 3:30, something like that.
Yep.
Fika, time for fika.
We've been having fika since I have experienced the beauty of a fika in
Yeah,
Poland
you
in
see that.
Sweden. That's it. It's
Hmm.
been a part of my whenever we go out like on a Saturday as a family, we grab a fika. It's just
Ah, I love to hear that.
it's
Beautiful. You
beautiful.
see that's taking the raisins out of the cake and just that's
Mm-hmm.
great. I love it.
Mm.
I also I think I think Alex got 1-0 towards me right there because we were talking about before the Russians and the history regarding Poland and occupation, and then she says, where was it now? Oh, don't worry, Roger. We forgot the Swedes as well.
Oh, she mentions that. She
Oh, that's
mentions
wonderful. Oh yeah, you should know. You
that.
know that I think we talked about this. Sweden was for many years a big factor in that part of the world, like Northern Europe.
Hmm.
We were constantly in war.
Yeah.
We beat the Russians too, and we
Hmm.
took land, and we own Norway, Finland, Denmark,
Hmm.
parts of Germany, Poland. It was crazy.
Hmm.
We were like an empire, a small empire, but you know, as often you come to a point, and then money starts to get, the big case with money starts to dry out, right?
Empires
And you
crumble.
have, yeah, and they of course also started to have, they had war at the same, like at three places: Norway, Russia, and also down, maybe it wasn't Poland or Germany.
Hmm.
And of course you can't, it's in the long run, it's like,
Not
but after
sustainable.
that we learned a lesson. I think, Sweden was like a big thing at that point of time. But luckily, after that, from the 1600, late 1600 century, I would say around 1750 or something like that was the last shot, far up around the Norwegian border. And then after that, we got this king from France, and the Bernadotte. Bernadotte is the family name, and he was like, "No, we're going to be neutral now. We're not going to fight anymore. We're going to chill." And then from there on,
And
well,
then we have Sweden.
until last, it's only 1 year ago. We joined NATO.
Yep.
Before that, we've been neutral all along. It's like, but neutral. That's well on the paper. At the same time, we've had collaborations, of course,
Mhm.
with other countries, also the U.S. for sure. I
Yeah.
mean, it is what it is. But
It is. It is
hey,
indeed.
Nalu, by the way, hey, hope you're fine, Nalu.
Hey Nalu, welcome to the chat, buddy. With that,
Yeah, with
Rog,
that,
anything else to
we
add
need to move
before
on.
we jump into the topics?
No, 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 no.
All right, cool. Brilliant. Let's start talking about something that I saw you put into the show notes, and I was just thinking, well, I don't know this, right? And then because
Mm-hmm.
Savvy came and he was like, oh, that looks interesting. I was like, yeah, Roger has it in his
Mm-hmm.
show notes. I don't know what it is, but it's an Apple TV. And we both, I think internally, I was like, oh my gosh, it's another subscription. Damn it. But that being said,
Yeah.
tell us about it. What is this about? What is it? And what is it
Yeah.
about?
Sure. As you know, I've been talking myself. I've talked positive about Apple TV, and that
Mm-hmm.
experience continues. We've had it since around Christmas. It was, of course, Adam that, of course, it's
Agent
his
Adam
fault.
is the best. He
Yeah,
knows everything.
yeah, he knows everything all the time, and before I know that, that's annoying. But okay. Uh, so we watched the series, me and Annalie, and I've talked about it here. We watched the show called Slow Horses
Mm-hmm.
with the Gary Oldman.
Mm-hmm.
Superb, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Either way, I think he told me there's going to be a sixth season coming this summer, this year. So But I felt, oh, I need to watch something else. What am I going to watch? So, and then Adam said that he has a colleague
Mhm.
working on his gaming studio that is watching a sci-fi series on Apple TV that is called Foundation.
Mm.
Now, I immediately recognized the name of the author that has made the books that the series is based on.
Mhm.
It's an American author, but if you listen to the name, Isaac Asimov, Asimov sounds very Russian to me. So I'm not sure. I mean, I know about, I have read some other books, or at least one or two books by Isaac Asimov when I was younger. Don't remember the name of them, but
Mhm.
I know the writer.
Mhm.
And that's a good thing because he is good at this. This is a sci-fi drama series, if you will,
Mhm.
quite epic, big gestures, big costumes, like budget-wise.
Mhm.
Um, Gives me a bit of a Dune vibe once in a while
Mhm.
due to this empire thing and the look, like the partly the costume thing, the different like races, if you will.
Mhm.
But also the interesting with this here, again, it can be a bit slow maybe for some. There's definitely action once in a while as well,
Mhm.
but this is story.
Mhm.
This is storytelling, dialogues. It can be long.
Mhm.
I really like. I think it has a depth and quality,
Mhm.
and I have been watching now the 3 seasons. I finished yesterday
Mhm.
the 3 seasons that are available right now,
Mhm.
and I am looking forward to more. There was a point where maybe halfway into season 1, I was like, when you have this feeling, do I want to spend more time with this series?
Mhm.
But I'm glad I did
Mhm.
because it grew for me in a
It build.
very nice way. Yeah,
Mhm.
it built up. It built up. And I think the good thing also with this series is that it's, as said, the concept is interesting without like spoiling. I can definitely say that like the empire here and the emperor, what they've done, what they decided to do is when the first emperor, like 400 years ago, let's say, due to the timeline in the series, when he died, they cloned him. So they started to use DNA
Mhm.
throughout the line of these emperors, so to say. So they always had three alive. They were called morning, day, and evening, something like that. And it's kind of weird because we're talking about a young boy
Mhm.
and the emperor that is in his prime, like in his 30s, 40s, and then you have the old man that soon will be go to rest.
Yeah.
But they are ruling at the same time, and
Mhm.
it's interesting because they sit and eat, and they pick up the spoon almost at the same time because they are the same,
They're the
right?
same person, just different
Yeah,
versions.
yeah, it's weird. It's very weird, but it's told in a very good way
Mhm.
and cool way. And there's also this woman who is a robot that are working and
Mhm.
have been around all the emperors throughout the history, so to say.
Mhm.
And she's very important for them and
Mhm.
for the story as well. I'm not going to say too much, but and yeah, I like it. I think it's definitely worth. If you like sci-fi, and
Mhm.
maybe even if you have read something from the author Isaac Asimov, then this is definitely a series worth watching.
Mhm.
And overall, since it's also on Apple TV, and I had such good experiences with Slow Horses, yeah, you might consider to actually get into Apple TV for a while. Maybe, yeah, try it out. And I think I think you still can have a week, like a trial week,
Mhm.
for free,
Yeah.
when it comes to the platform. So, yeah, there you go.
Definitely. And in relation to what you said about him earlier, he is Russian. So he was, well, he's Russian American. He was born in Russia. His family moved to the US when he was 3, and so he was 3 years old when he moved to the US. So I guess he has the Russian roots.
Yeah,
He's
probably.
raised in the US. He's a US citizen
Yeah,
and so
yeah.
forth. And he's also Jewish Russian. So he's a Russian Jew.
Right.
So
Okay.
he also his parents were, I believe his dad is Orthodox Jewish, and but he really wasn't. and he was more, I guess, science fiction. So he's written
Yeah,
a lot of books,
he has.
a lot of books, a
He
lot of science
has.
fiction. So
Yep.
there's quite a lot to read from him if you're looking to check out some of his works, and then if you do like that the foundation, then yeah, definitely there's a lot from him out there, and yeah, pretty cool stuff. It looks good from the trailers
Yeah,
that for this foundation, and it looks quite interesting. The
it
only thing
is.
I think about, like the whole time you were talking, what I was thinking in the back of my mind, okay, how do I make that financially possible? Because
Yeah,
I've already
exactly.
got
I don't.
Prime,
Yeah,
I've got Netflix, I've got Crunchyroll, I've already
yeah.
spending money on those things. How do I? How much is Apple TV now? That's what my brain is going. It's like, how much is
I
that?
totally understand you, bro. The good thing for us is that when it comes to Apple TV, this is something Adam has.
Hmm.
Since we are paying for Netflix,
Hmm.
HBO still, maybe skip that, but HBO still, and also of course Amazon Prime. So we have like three,
Hmm.
and Adam is still on Apple TV, and I'm happy because
You can
I
use
wanted
it.
to watch some more. So it was like, well,
I need to find
there you
some
go.
family member who has Apple TV and is willing to like let me use it.
Yes, that's the plan.
That is the plan.
But the bottom line again is I'm happy that I watched the series. Foundation was definitely worth it for me, and
Hmm.
it's a good series. It's quality. I haven't honestly I haven't checked out what it says on IMDb. I
Hmm.
usually say something about that. Maybe I should.
It's
Let's go in there
from what I can
for
see, it's a 9.7
2021. Yeah, 7.6.
or 7.6. Why did I say
Yeah.
9.7? 7.6.
Yeah, I give it around an 8. Like
Hmm.
I think it's pretty decent. No, it's I mean that's good. 7.6 is good.
Solid.
So it's solid. Yeah, yeah, definitely for sure.
Very high.
Um,
It's currently ranked 196. Sorry, 190 in the world.
yeah, it's
Um,
also important to say that it's one of those series that have like parallel stories going on. Like you follow different characters. I would say four
like Game of Thrones.
ish. Yeah, in a way, and it connects. It connects in different ways.
Hmm.
Especially two paths are connecting quite heavily, which you start to understand a bit into the series. So, mm, cool.
I look
This was
forward to
good.
I look forward to
Yep.
checking it out when I am able to financially
Yeah.
pull off the Apple TV subscription again. There is something on Apple TV that we started watching before. I think we spoke about it on the podcast, and we never finished. So it would be good if we have it again. We'll be able to finish that, and then which is Ted Lasso, and then probably watch this.
All right. Right.
So
Yeah.
yep, it is quite the thing. Whew. All right,
Yeah. There you
that's
go.
good. Foundation. What I've been watching is nothing this sci-fi, but something probably as fantastical. And I've continued watching Record of Ragnarok season 3, and it has been fantastic.
Ah,
It has
good.
been absolutely. I don't even have to make you guys wait to find out. It has been great. It is great. Record of Ragnarok. I don't even know if it's called season 2, season 3, or season 2 part 2, or is it season 3? I don't know. All I know is I think we watched season 3. Yeah, it is season 3. I'm just checking here now. It is season 3. So we just saw season 3. I will say this much. Season 3 is a 7.6 on IMDb,
Mm.
and I will say this. There is one arc in season 3 that is horrible.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
I will and I would if I were to compare season 3 to season 2. Season 2 is better. It's way better than season 3.
Mm.
But that being said, it's still good. So I've watched season 1, 2, and 3. I watched this with Alex. Alex and I watched all 3 seasons together. And yeah, season 3 is the weakest of the bunch, but at the same time, it's still good. And I think why it's the weakest of the bunch is that they introduced a few characters in season 3. Because for those who don't know what this is about, this is a storyline of the world is coming to an end. It's Ragnarok, Greek mythology, and is it Greek? The Greece, the
No,
Greek,
no, no. It's
Norse,
it's Norse.
Norse
Yeah.
mythology. Look at me, and I'm talking to a Norseman. So
I'm bringing up my axe.
you know what? I've got my axe here, so let's go.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. Yeah, you still have it. Beautiful.
I've got it on my
Love
desk,
it.
my Kratos axe.
Yeah, like it.
So yeah, Right. What was I? The so you've got the
Yeah.
Ragnarok happening, but
Mhm.
how it's set up is like all humans and all gods are part of this thing. So in this sort of world, all the gods know each other. It's like you've got Shiva there from Hindu gods. You've
Oh,
got
okay.
you've got Zeus. You've got Odin.
Mm.
You've got Hercules. You've got what's his name again with the
Thor?
Thor. You've got Thor. You've got Buddha. They're
Oh
all there.
my.
They're all there, and all the
That's pretty
gods.
cool.
They're
Yeah.
cool looking. They're like macho and muscular. You got Aphrodite. Aphrodite, she sits there, and she's pretty much almost what looks like she's naked, and she's got two men standing
Yeah.
next to her, two big, strong-looking, burly men. One man is holding up one of her tits, and the other
What?
guy is holding up her other tit. And she's just sitting there, and they're just the whole time. That's all they
What a
do.
dream job, bro. I'll do it for free.
I'm sure that's what they're doing. I'm sure they're doing
Sorry,
it
I'm
for free.
leaving now. Sorry.
So you got
Excusez-moi. Yeah.
you got all these gods, and essentially they have to fight the best of men to decide if humanity is going to be erased.
Oh
And
wow.
so what they do is they have to fight the best of men. You've got Adam from Adam and Eve. You've got different characters, like for example, I think one of the characters we met recently who fought was what's his name again? Leonidas from 300.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now I will say this: it is Leonidas that is the letdown. He's in the episode for Leonidas is the episodes for him, the arcs for him. It's a letdown. It's an absolute letdown.
Ah.
I think the thing is
Hmm.
that they take creative liberty with how they represent each character. And I
Yeah.
think for the most part, with most of them, they've done a really good job. Nikola Tesla is like a mech guy. He's got a mech suit. He's Nikola Tesla. He's cool robot guy. So that's
Ah,
you could kind of in your imagination,
yeah,
connect
sure.
that. But with Leonidas, he comes up like originally when it starts building up for him, you're like, ooh. They start the story and everyone because they do a backstory to a certain extent, and you get like Leonidas, he was so badass and his back was so broad that men
Yeah,
followed
look
him
at
into
that.
war.
Manly. Yeah.
Manly man, and you're just thinking, man, he's gonna be amazing. He's got a shield, the 300 shield, the big. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
brilliant. And all he does is spend the
This
whole.
is Sparta. Yeah, exactly.
This is Sparta. I'm waiting for the line. He spends the whole episode just effing and blaming, cursing, and looking like a fool. And I was just like,
No.
they've ruined him, innit? They've just
What
ruined him
happened?
the whole time. Alex and I were just like, ugh, this the worst. He's terrible. So yeah, Leonidas ruined the way they did Leonidas was terrible. I think
Yeah.
they did him poor. Buddha was one of my favorites. I loved how they did Buddha. Buddha was awesome. He still is.
What did they do regarding Buddha? Getting interested. I
So
mean,
so Buddha's kind of so chill. He's relaxed, he's
uh-huh.
calm, but at the
Oh, he
same
is.
time, Buddha is like in peak shape. The guy he is muscular, he is strong, he's badass, but because he's Zen, you can't really hit
Yeah.
him. You can't really hit him. Buddha,
Okay.
you're swinging at Buddha, and Buddha's just like,
Oh yeah. Now that's good. I like that.
it's cool.
That's what I would do as well with Buddha.
It is cool. So they've done pretty much everyone except Leonidas. I think I didn't like. I didn't like Leonidas.
Yeah. I
And
see. Like Alex is yeah. It's more like Beelzebub. Like
they've had
Jack the
Beelzebub.
Ripper.
They've had Jack the Ripper. Yep, they've had Jack the
Wow.
Ripper was again, and it's the way they did it. You expect to not like some of them, and then you're just like, ooh, the way they did it though. Oh, you're just like, ugh.
Yeah, it's cool, right?
Even like Beelzebub, I was just like, ugh, no.
Yeah.
Like when they first introduced him in the episode, I'm just like, I don't like him. No,
We don't want him there.
We
no.
don't want him. No.
No.
And then he starts doing things, and you're just like, oh, the feels. Ooh, calm down, dude. Don't get in my feels.
Really?
Don't have me rooting for you, man. Don't have me thinking, oh.
No, that's yeah.
That's what Jack the Ripper was. When they introduced Jack, everyone is booing Jack. Even the humans because again, he's fighting for the humans. They're like, oh, you're disgusting. They're throwing stuff at him, and he's just like, Jack is just there, just like taking it in. He's just like, ah, yes. He's sort of like, and when they tell, so they do the backstories, when they tell the backstory of Jack the Ripper, you start realizing, holy crap, this guy came from, like, why he is him is like, oh my god, this guy's suffered every horrible thing you can expect a human to suffer, and he's just taken that and made himself the most horrible person he could make himself because of what he's been through. And so instead of being angry at Jack and hating him, you start sympathizing with him to a certain extent because you're like, oh my
Okay.
god, all this bad stuff happened to him. Like I
Hmm.
get it, it makes sense. And then but they match the characters well. So Jack fought Hercules in his arc, and Hercules is like he's the most honest god. He cares about everyone. He's there. He's fighting for the gods, but he's caring about the humans. He's like, Hercules is
Yeah.
there, just like, look, I know you've been through a lot, Jack, but I love you. And you start like,
Oh.
oh man. And Jack is like, look, all humans are dark. It's all in everyone's dark. I can see the darkness. And he's looking at in Hercules, he can't see an ounce of darkness. He can't
Yeah.
even when he does the most horrible things to Hercules, Hercules is like, I still love you, bro. I got you. And it's like, you're like, yes, the feels. And this is all happening while they're fighting each other. They're just punching and stuff and
Yeah.
ah,
Right. Right.
pow, 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 ah. Amazing. Absolutely
Great.
amazing. Love Ragnarok. It is a top tier anime. But yeah, screw what they did with what's his face with Leonidas. They screwed the pooch with
Leonidas.
him.
Yeah.
But the rest of them, whew, class.
Yeah. It sounds solid.
Yep, yep. That is Record of Ragnarok. That's what we've been watching on the telly.
Cool.
And with that, I guess we talk about some feature me games.
Yes.
Feature
So
me
big of
game.
me gift. Yeah. It's time. It's time.
Let's hear it, Rog. You've been playing what's it called again? The same game from
Yeah.
last week, isn't it?
I've been since I'm so busy working, also doing the music now. I don't have so much time to play like other games that
Mm-hmm.
much. I mean, I have to think also. What did I? What did I? What the heck did I stream on Tuesday? I can't even remember that. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Totally lost my memory, I think. Um, but yeah, no, actually, I played Modern Warfare 2019 again. You see, I go back and play some older games because I know that they're good, so that's what I do.
What you gotta
But
do.
yeah, I did play a game I talked about, I think, last week, and that is the Splitgate game.
Mm-hmm.
This free to play, arena shooter that was remade. Launched last summer as Splitgate 2, well, follow up of the Splitgate 1 game, but it went so. I mean, as I've described before, they tried to make it something that it really isn't,
Mm-hmm.
with classes and fixed loadouts, perks, and the hero abilities. It didn't land well in the community. I think it was a huge mistake.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of pulled back and they remade the game, and good to say at least that they went back more to the original kind of style of the game, which I think the small community around this game now, because it's a bit of a pity to see now that they have like a much bigger budget from the first run,
Mm-hmm.
that they are still, yeah, they've made too many mistakes. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
sure if the game will be able to recover, to be honest.
Right.
It's, I mean, they've had some plus numbers when it comes to like player count. As you know, live service games and online games overall, it's so important with the community. It's so important with numbers. It
Yeah.
really is.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it's not gonna work.
It drops
So
off. Yeah, and you can
yeah,
you can burn people in live service games or these online games and never get them back because there's so many others out there that once someone moves, it's really hard to get
exactly.
them back because they've already started learning the mechanics of something new. They've gotten comfortable. They've formed a community. It's hard to get people back once they've left, and especially if it is that you have a group of people that leave together, well, they're not coming back, are they? They're gone.
No, true. And I think that's also why it's so important nowadays with the competition, that when you release a game,
Mm-hmm.
you are pretty sure and confident of what you're doing. And if I would release a game, I would make sure that I have a very throughout like roadmap ahead of me.
Mm-hmm.
Like really, and I would be very aggressive when it comes to new content,
Yeah.
especially like the first weeks and months.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have played so many games now throughout the years, especially in the genre of FPS apparently and
Mm-hmm.
shooter games. And it's so often that they make this mistake, that they maybe the game is good and everything, but
Mhm.
it's lack of content. Lack of content. It takes too long,
Mhm.
too little, too late,
Mhm.
which also can be transferred now into the new Battlefield game.
Mhm.
I saw the notes coming for the upcoming season 2, and season 1 wasn't that overwhelming. It was again too little, I think, and
Mhm.
the way they make mistakes. They made so many mistakes over the years, I think, with the Battlefield series, and they really had a good chance here now with Battlefield 6. But I'm not sure what's going to happen. They will. I think it. Yeah, the season 2 will be delayed a month,
Ooh.
and a month is a long time. I mean, 2 3 days a week, sure, but a month.
You lose people in that time.
Yeah, you lose, and they've already lost, as I said, from the launch. It's like 80% of the player base. It's gone.
Mhm.
I mean, they have so big numbers. So we're not talking about a game that is dying, of course,
Mhm.
but I think it's super important, especially now for Battlefield, that they really make it when it comes to the season 2 content.
Yeah.
Because when you read, also, I saw another YouTuber making a video. I haven't had time to do the same, but going through like notes and messages, and oh, we had a packed season 1, and I was like, packed? You didn't have a packed season 1. What are you talking about? It feels sometimes that they are in their own world. They they
Mhm.
they are based, like, put your feet down on the ground.
Mhm.
Like, seriously, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
You've lost like a big amount of your player base. Come on.
Get detached
This
from
is
reality.
yeah, there you go. That was the word I was looking for. Um, Oh, no, it's not good. It's not looking great. I mean, Splitgate is a smaller title. It's indie, but with a much bigger budget. So it kind of it's close up to triple A title, but still not really.
Mhm.
But I mean, Battlefield is a huge franchise and brand and everything. And again, since Call of Duty has been, going down, and has been selling really bad this year, and Battlefield had good numbers, especially initially, and they have sold more copies, I believe, at least still.
Mhm.
Don't know that, but at least in November there was more copies compared to Call of Duty, which
Mhm.
hasn't happened before.
Mhm.
So, the momentum, you got to take that momentum, and bam, 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 here comes this 2 new maps. Look at that.
Run with it.
Yeah, run with it. Just smash it. But
Yep.
no.
Don't do it sometimes.
Oh, god damn it.
Waste of
Yeah.
time.
Yep.
Waste of time.
That's my gaming for now. I'll be back with some other new stuff as we go along. But yeah, there you go. What
um,
about you, bro?
me.
Yeah, you.
Well, I'm like you. I'm playing live service games, but I'm playing
Yeah.
eFootball,
Mm.
and so I'm gonna switch the gameplay on the screen. I've got Splitgate up. I'm gonna switch it to eFootball for a bit,
Yeah, sure. Yeah, do that.
and I've been playing eFootball as I do, and
Beautiful.
I've made some new acquaintances on eFootball. As I mentioned, Trini Captain 30, he reached out to me on Instagram, and we ended up adding each other on Discord, and we started playing together. And I think he's a bit newer to the game than me, so I've
Uh-huh.
been sort of like teaching him a few things, explaining a few things about the
Hmm.
game, and just sort of helping him to sort of understand certain aspects of the game that I already understand.
That's good.
And I think it's fun because of the fact that playing with him, he's a good player, and at the
Mm.
same time, he's happy to learn and take certain aspects of what I was sharing. And at the same time, he brought another friend in with us. I think his name was Sky. At least that
Mm.
was his name in the chat. And we the three of us played sometime this week. We played together. We had a grand old time, and it was just nice. It was just nice playing eFootball with some people and chilling and stuff like that. Because, like we mentioned about losing people in eFootball, my brothers have pretty much dropped off of eFootball. So, like with
Mm.
Ash, he's no longer playing it. He's playing eFoot. Yeah, he's playing FC,
Aha,
EFC,
okay.
because he's got fed up of certain mechanics, and he's just like, I don't like this, and I'm gonna leave. Now, granted, him leaving, he was playing on the highest level of the game, and obviously meeting the most toxic players, people who are trying
Yeah.
to do
Oh, yeah, it becomes
everything.
like that. Typical.
They're
Okay.
doing everything to win. There's every
Yeah,
little
yeah,
cheap
yeah.
tactic, things that glitch plays and all that kind of stuff. Whereas
Mm.
when you're playing on the easier level, it's easy to just run past these other people. And if you make a
Yeah.
mistake, you can you can sort it out. And so he's gone to FC, and currently in
Mhm.
FC he's on the lower level again. So
Mhm.
it's at that fun stage where things work and he doesn't have to worry about anything and so forth.
Right.
But I think once he gets to the top levels, he's gonna see the same sweatiness
Yeah,
that
I was just about to say, right?
he's gonna say.
Yeah.
But that being said, I don't want to read on his parade. So
No.
he plays that. I'm just like, okay, cool. I've formed I guess a different community of people to play eFootball with, because it's the one that
Yeah.
I still prefer playing eFootball over FC. I think the
Hmm.
concept of FC, it being an annual live service game, makes no sense.
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
think if I'm collecting stuff, it's like, and then imagine you collect all your perks in Call of Duty. And to be honest, you can't imagine, because it is like that in Call of Duty. You collect all this stuff in Call
Yeah.
of Duty, and then you have to start all over again the next year when they release the next Call of Duty.
Right.
And
Exactly.
so that's what FC is like. But with eFootball, it's like you collect everything. It's in the game, and just more and more is added year after year. And
Yeah.
so I think it keeps that continuity. And for me, if I'm going to do live service, that's how I prefer to do it.
Hmm.
In So so that's the reason why I wouldn't jump to FC. But playing with people in here, it's been good. I think they just dropped a few new players in here. They've put George Best is in the game.
Oh. Oh. Classic.
Brian Robson
Oh.
has just been dropped in there. Peter Schmeichel, so they've got some new
Oh my
cards.
God.
So I've seen them. I've been like, maybe I'll get Georgie Best. You never know.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. But yeah, it's cool. It's cool hopping in and playing with some people and having some matches and so forth. I'm still playing pretty competitive. It's still good. There's a few things that every time they release a little update, there are a few things that you need to adapt to, but so
Yeah.
far so good.
Hmm.
So that's really been my gaming. I haven't really picked up any of my other consoles and played them. I have
By the way,
my
bro,
Mhm.
may I ask, since Alex is writing, did you try UFL?
Oh crap, she did. I did. Oh wow. Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
I just got curious when I saw it. So it was.
Oh. Thank you for reminding me. I did try UFL. UFL is
Mhm.
essentially what FC would be if it was like eFootball, which was
Yeah.
essentially you don't have to buy the game every year. You just keep your team and you keep building on it.
Okay.
And I played UFL recently, and I can't stand the mechanics of how the game feels and
Aha.
the way in which, because a football game is a football game, but the way UFL
Yeah.
plays the game is like the ball is a completely separate entity to the player, and that's what a ball should be in a football game. But for the most part, y- it's so weird how detached the ball is from the player, that when you're playing, it feels like the ball is gliding and the player is gliding. It just feels weird. It's like it's not really.
Okay.
It's not. You don't feel like you're in as much control as what you want to do. And then on top of that too, as well, the problem with UFL that I have as well is that it's way too easy to score goals, and it's
Mhm.
almost like the defending is a really difficult thing I've found to defend in that game. So with regards to the goals, once you get close enough to someone's goal and you take a shot, the goalkeepers don't save anything. You shoot,
Oh.
you just put enough power behind it, it's going in. 9 times out of
Mhm.
10, it just goes in. And maybe again, maybe this has to do with the fact that I am on the lower levels in UFL. So maybe when I get
Could
up to
be.
the
Could
sweaty
be.
levels with all the crazy teams, it doesn't
Mhm.
happen. But on the lower levels, it's way too easy to score goals. I'm playing matches, I'm scoring 4, 5, 6 goals, and the opponents are doing the same to me. And despite the fact that I tend to pride myself on being a defensive player, I tend to like being able to defend and then counter. That's how I play. I like
Mhm.
to counter attack. I can't really do that as much in UFL. There's a lot of mechanics I still don't understand. Of course, there's still things that I need to understand in there, and it has its own system like eFootball, where you collect players and you can open packs and all that kind of stuff. But the gameplay just didn't hook me. It sort of irritated me the more I played it, and I've been coming back and forth to UFL throughout
Mhm.
the time since it's been released, but I don't have an attachment to it. I don't have a like I've formed an attachment because I more than anything else I like the fundamental gameplay of eFootball. I don't like the fundamental gameplay of UFL in the same way I don't like the fundamental gameplay of FC. I feel it feels a bit too arcadey for me, and that is just it on a surface level. We
Yeah,
bring it
sure.
out a bit more, and visually, I don't know if this is something new or whatever. Visually, UFL looks like trash on my Xbox Series X. It looks awful. Like the game looks really dark. It it's sort of the colors look all out of order. I don't know why, because I remember it looking much better than that before, but it looks horrible. And maybe I should probably try it on a different platform. I know it's been released to
Yeah.
PC recently, and it's also on the Xbox. Sorry, on the PlayStation 5, and I've got the PlayStation 5 here. I could try it on there as well, but I just didn't feel motivation to do so.
Nah, I mean, if
So
you found a game that you like and you like the way it plays, I think that's the most important thing. You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
then there's no reason to spend more time, like, you know, investing more time in a game like that. I guess. You
yep.
know,
I do check them out though,
so
because I play football games and I have a YouTube channel
exactly. No,
about
that's an
that stuff.
interest, right? That you
So
want to try something new. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. So
Mm.
that's UFL. That's what it's about. La di da. So that's what. Thanks for
Yeah.
reminding me. And
Yeah. Good.
so
Good, Alex.
with that, I think we've got an episode, Raj, don't we?
We have. It's in the box,
Oh,
even. Yeah. Sealed, signed, and delivered.
yep.
Yeah, it's time to call it a day, or evening, or soon night as well. I
It's night.
might take that little walk, we'll see, but it's so muddy outside, as Alex said. It's like slush, walking in slush. Not sure if I want to do that. But anyhow, thanks for being here. Thanks for the support. Thanks for both watching, listening, and however you consume that beautiful live podcast. Take care now. Have a great week until we talk again next week. So, with that said, muffin and out.
Beautiful as always. So with that, thank you very much for listening to this episode of That Beautiful Life podcast. As always, you can find Raj at the number 40 with SPLISH. He streams on a Tuesday and a Sunday. That's correct.
That's correct, my friend.
That's that
Yep.
is that is it. That's the beautiful stuff. You can find me at LV Garden, it's LPGRDIN, Guiding Talk to you, pretty much everywhere else. I have been using Simply Football as my place to share my football thoughts and football gaming stuff. I have not posted anything there in a little bit. I do want to. I do plan to. I just haven't gotten around to. But that being said, you can find us at Simply Binge UK, pretty much everywhere else. And as always, we would like you guys to miss out on every episode of That Beautiful Life podcast. Many beautiful people like you subscribe to this podcast on Castbox, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, simplybinge.com, and elsewhere. And we're so confident you're going to like it that we're giving it for free. So, as always, guys, this has been Cued. Your pleasure. It's a wrap. That's the episode. We are out of here. I'm going to make my table go down now so I can sit.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Well, I do it manually. I don't have that luxury of electricity, at least not yet. So it's going to be more like me making a sound like that, and it goes down. Okay.
Oh, that feels good.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
oh,
The
standing is
old man
amazing.
has to sit.
Oh,
Oh. And I
oh,
will, yeah. Oh man, I feel it now. I was at the gym together with Isaac before dinner as well, so I start to feel it now when I'm moving a bit. Oh my God,
yep, that's how it
it
is.
is what it is.